Chad, just a few questions. Looking back now, knowing what you know now, what would you change about your life if you could go back and do that?
Check the form of the question.
The first thing that jumps out at me, there's one thing I could change with the people. None of you guys would be here. This prison sentence wouldn't happen. The family would still have their son. Because if I was holding the cards, I'd trade places in a split second. It would have been me. And as easy as a fix as that would be, because I know in my heart what I would want. But that's as much as it hurts. I know
A total of 180 months. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And during the time that you're in prison or have been in prison, have you done things to work toward a program of alerting teenagers to the dangers of drinking and driving?
I have, and that's something that I've definitely spent the last 6 months since starting this prison sentence. I've spent my focus on that, and it's what can I do because of what happened to me? How can I reach out to someone who was as lost as I was during that time? Because I know, speaking personally, I've seen it, I've heard the horror stories, I've seen the accidents happen, but at the end of the day, you convince yourself that no matter how many times you see, hear, or even if it happens to someone close to you that you know, no matter how many times, it just can't happen to you. And I just think that there's got to be a way to penetrate that. Even the person that wants to just be as stubborn as I did, there's got to be a way to get through them and show them that it absolutely it can happen to you. And unfortunately, the consequences have to be faced. You have to accept what you did. Not only that, but I'm not reminded every day I wake up, because of the fact that I'm incarcerated and I'm in prison that I did that. I'm reminded of the fact that no matter how much I want to change it, I have to live with the fact I'm responsible for someone else's death. And out of anything that's ever happened to me, the prison sentence, anything that I went through, which I cannot be held in comparison to what the Smith family has had to endure. But what I'm reminded of every day is just that's the hardest part of this whole ordeal, is just absolutely every day, there's no way around it.
I chose a program that you started.
Like I said, launching awareness is something that I've set myself out to do. Over the last several months, I've worked on what was more or less just an idea of how can we put a positive message out there and still in a way that it can make an impact to a mass amount of people. And it started off as just an idea, and it's the I chose, and basically what it is it's the messages it's a representation that someone has made a decision, their decision to never drink, drive under the influence of drugs or alcohol. This message comes in the form of a wristband, similar to other organizations that have used them as a charitable cause or to raise awareness. And by wearing the band, it solidifies that you have made your own decision to not drink and drive. I mean, it's like I said, it started off as just an idea, but after I kind of put it together a little bit further in detail and wrote what I wanted it to really represent, after we put the pieces together, it's something that is very much more than an idea. It's something that's about to be in effect, and I plan on launching that with the help of my support system on the outside within the next several weeks. My focus on that is penetrating the junior and senior age group, kids in high school that they're just at that age where they feel invincible, because I was at that age and that's how I felt, and I believe that's the target market I'm trying to reach out. That hey, that the choices we make, there are consequences for them at the end of the day. And if I can relay the message that, you know, you don't have to go through what I did. You don't have to wake up and live, you know, knowing you've done what you've done. It's the greatest thing about it is the crime that I committed is 100% avoidable. And it's avoidable because you just make a decision that you're not going to allow yourself to do that. You're not going to allow yourself to put yourself in a position to not only take someone else's life, but take your life as well because of drugs and alcohol. So I hope that, you know, I don't know how you measure success with something like this as far as raising awareness. I don't know how you can do it. You know, I've thought about it, but my way, and it'll be a success to me, is that if one person comes up to me and says, you know what, because of your story, because of what you went through, you know, it's made me take a long, hard look at how I'm living. Or if at the end of the day, one person that's on the path that I was on, if they just take another step and decide to take a different road, then I think that's how you measure success. And the way I measure it is if one person's life is changed or saved, then...
Since you won't be at trial, look directly into the camera and talk to Taylor Smith's parents, Sean and Laura Smith. What would you say to them right now?
Sorry is not... I haven't lived one day since that day, or I haven't wished and prayed to God that it's not me in the ground instead of your son. There's nothing I can do to change that. I don't expect anyone to forgive me for what I did. I guess the message that I can say to you guys is that the only thing that I can control at this point forward is what I do with this time in prison, what I do with my life, and stopping this from happening to another person, even if it's only one person, is the only thing I can do, and it's the only thing that I feel that I have left, is to stop this from happening. And not only see what I went through, what I did to my family, I can't comprehend or wrap my mind around what it did to your family and to you guys. So at the end of the day, all that I'm left with is just trying to give back, and trying to, even if it's just one kid from making the decision that I did and doing what I did, then that's all that my heart can guide me to do.